match as we get into this one.
Okay,
Interesting to see
MIBR
the votes
on
coming
defense,
in from
FURIA
social
on attack.
media as well, saying FURIA is ready to just stomp this game. We start off on split, and it is going to be MIBR on defense with FURIA attacking. A few ghosts, a frenzy there for Havoc as they look to enter onto B with just a few lurkers around the map here. Still a lot of
Dog over towards middle, trying to create pressure to make sure this person over towards B Heaven is not here. But this guy, his frenzy is just... Dude, I wish my frenzy worked like this sometimes. The laser beam frenzy actually was. Not even deadlock or ISO? Nah, especially not deadlock. And for ISO, for me, the vulnerable is too strong, and we haven't seen it used enough yet, so I wouldn't want to mess around with him too much. I still think deadlock in a team environment can be good.
Too much left on the side, just the guiding light there with the dash for sight, so MIBR is going to have to hit these shots.
That's exactly it. They used a dog earlier on from Conan to try to drone towards the middle and didn't see anybody, so when you don't have util and you lost your duelist, you're playing the contact.
There
walk within B,
Lovely,
GZZ
and double heaven as well.
again.
I mean, this one's done.
Support from Mazine on the top of the B ropes.
Oh, we have a smoke to cross.
As the orbs come through, at least that's going to help for Khalil to move forward. Pressure in towards the orange walls, orange hallway.
Yeah, this was very nice from them.
They're not letting Fury in for a plan.
No,
yeah, the laser beam frenzy really was the
one. A
one.
lot of contact play, a lot of walk up, early information grabbing, and then it fizzles out when they
Keep an eye on the pistols, obviously one up.
To get into the site, Furia is forced to walk into MIBR. Great hold from Heaven. They didn't really lose too much ground in either site, and they anchored A well, even if Furia did that rotate. So keep an eye on MW Zera, still going for the Sheriff. We'll see if the utility in this is still kind of to make space for MW Zera, or if Havoc is getting in on that. If they're going in together, as we would expect here, it's going to be a mid-open play. So still not going back to that dive into sight just yet on this save round.
Putting a lot of importance on MW Zera this round. For FURIA, only a Sheriff in hand. We didn't even buy anything for Conan, so not too much support around that duelist. Artzine trying to push forward, and they actually have a really
disappeared
right now for Liazzi just around the corner. Try to make some noise, bait a shot. There's that push forward.
Okay, that's actually a massive opening. Massive opening. They get info over towards A. There's still a minute for Furia to play with.
The ones on the front of these pushes when Furia goes in to get an engage. They're playing very good mind games. Rotation back around.
The kill over towards B and the info over towards A causes them to get a little bit aggro. We have one flash left for Mazin. Is he? This is where the Skynav, these kind of runs where the Skynav really comes in, because a flash over towards here will get info, and then we can heavy stack 3 in the normal Sky OP meta. But now they have to actually just body check it. Oh, they did flash actually. They did flash, to be fair.
Fuzzy's falling back there, thinking it's going to be a very big hit towards
the timing here is insane. Okay, JZZ should have this one secured. Yeah. Still though, that actually, although the kills weren't as high as they could have been, it got a little bit scary. I like that MIBR got proactive over towards A and middle. Which did good here.
Fake out MIBR by cutting all noise, not giving any kind of intention to what they're going to do, or indication rather. And this little play, super cheeky, making sure to drop one. And finally, they find MIBR.
Kangas, bro, it's an eco. Don't get too crazy.
Backs up to receive the rest of Furia, but now we're on to the guns round. The gun round here for Furia. Artzine has grabbed the operator.
Recovering it.
Yeah, so you might find that quick as they dismiss a star, and this will be one of the first times we see Furia kind of pressuring with that Viper wall towards A truly.
Bit of vision block. Gets the Skydog out, and we don't see anything. Skydog out within the first 15. That's also one of the bigger changes that you see. Everyone's using the Skydog more for the first initial bit of info and saving the flashes because they're precious.
Furia's left to find nothing on these peaks and on the utility.
Yeah, also the slow play against single controller is the one, right? We're 35 seconds in, and we only have one Sky Flash left, and they got no additional info other than the fact that they won. beyond this choke point.
And with the orb coming up, there is that
Okay,
execution.
insta-sight hit. MIBR have 3 people here, though. They could send it.
They're in.
Oh, they're sending
Three
it.
in.
Spawn nobody towards the hell, but Mazin does see MW0 towards the back of the site. Gets the first blood, not given a chance for Furia to go for a plant. Couple players fall again, but the advantage is for
This was
MIBR.
actually
Spikes
really
down out in
good.
the open, and the last 2 players of Furia
I'm
are
so
just
glad
stuck around.
that MIBR look good, because they're like the team that I was like probably in my head I was thinking would be near the bottom, like almost right at the bottom. But with some of the stuff I'm seeing, they're gonna get some wins, I think.
Havoc will try to do what they
For sure.
Havoc's a few away from a few kills here. Would be really nice to get the showstopper in to make one of these hits.
That was great though. So before the only thing I would criticize, and it's hard to find the right line for this, is Furia went heavy sack over towards here, just because that's pretty much where you want to be. That's most likely where the defenders would take. But they did it before the spike went down, so it is hard to find the line because a lot of time you can get caught out in the open. But the call from MIBR here to just insta send it over towards site.
The strength that they had for MIBR was the actual positioning that they had on the defensive side to prevent C9 from really coming in and getting plants. And I thought MIBR in that last round was going to play that retake, but they flashed.
Is there a round robin stage? Yeah, after Masters Madrid. It's like split in half. Half of it for Master, sorry, half of it after Masters Madrid, and then the other half after Shanghai.
Down into the pockets, getting a little bit of lint for this purchase as well, I think. Already a rotation. FRZ coming through, might get caught on vents here. A big push up by Furia, and this time they're going to hold the space and see what information they can gain from behind enemy lines now.
Damn. Wally comes out, breaks the dog. That's a nice kill though, and there's an extra gun to pick up. Oh, this is looking real good. There's a lot up to this jet in heaven.
What a buy, and they're upgrading weapons as they come into MW again.
Wait, what happened to Artsin's gun here?
with the backstab on the rotate from the spawn. Player disadvantage for MIBR as 2 players remain. Has a little bit of money to work with. They could do some damage if they catch Furia off position. This might be an
an op and then wanted something better.
But a nice one comes out, a flash to peek out. RGL's clearing the corners.
God, that's a. I mean, honestly, they should probably just get the op and save this. And as much as I hate to say it, I think it is the right call.
What a hell of a buy!
And it's a perfect round. A lot of money. 2 armor rebuys.
From MW0 to help pick up another one, and no, MIBR was not expecting that kind of arsenal as they re-cleared.
Shout out to Furia, pretty much doing the same thing.
Maybe be finding a slow-moving Furia with a lower buy than what they had.
I say the same thing after it failed, but it was just heavy over towards heaven.
Through on the buy, and they get the round of themselves. Can't even hide in the little spot.
I don't know if that guy ate a flash, but
MW0 finally going down here, but it was too little, too late.
Love us to try that one.
What a great call to continue taking control of A and. Really,
he did eat a flash, but then good util for sure.
We've really only seen the dive into sight.
We get the attack op for MW0.
Still guns around. MIBR has
this year for sure we're going to see the highest attack op percentage. It's already been way higher than we've seen before.
MW0 activates Blade Storm too.
Blast cannon as well for him.
Yeah. Now they know he's got it. That's even worse. So MIBR is going to hold on to those corners without peeking.
Artzin's trying to do the same thing as MW0.
What is this op duel?
FURIA likes to do, just have MW0 try to walk out and get a pick. Now he doesn't get one, the rotate's perfect, and then there's that nice little bait jump from Khalil. Now as you see FURIA, okay, the op is there towards the A site, showstoppers to come out towards B main, connects onto the Yahtzee, that smokes down.
Man, this was a weird round. This was a weird round from Furia, I'm not gonna lie. The solo push over towards middle, hoping that once they take A control, that the guy in vents would have left.
MW0, however, stays on ramp. I don't think they know it just yet.
I mean, they're waiting the wall to come out so he can position themselves. The wall comes down, but gets hit by a flash, so he can't get the angle. Artzin just saw one cross over for a plant. There's that.
Lovely shot.
For it. The 6th sense out of Artzin. As MW0 has to try to get something done with this op. The top of the dome of one crossing over, that was the cap of JZZ, and then wins.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to do a miracle round here.
Also with that, becomes the last player standing.
2 bullets, 3 people. This reload's not gonna happen. He's either pop knives or get the classic. Alright, it's done.
Senses the push out from main, but it's the wall bang instead from MIBR as they have a clean retake.
And with that, they definitely invested a lot, but because of the round that they won prior, they're pretty much good. One person has to take a hit, or we can at least get a drop. So let's see who takes the hit.
A few good kills made it very tough for FURIA to finalize the strat. Getting in. Blade Storm's ready.
Yeah, he has knives actually, yeah. He has knives because he didn't pop it, that makes sense.
Have MIBR getting a retake. It wasn't just on the frags. So FURIA making a little bit more ground.
So it was the shots that baited out the showstopper too. So that default that they're trying to play here for FURIA was very well read by MIBR.
It's a great call on smokes too, because in the way MIBR is playing, I mean, for the Otzi going down, because the way MIBR is playing, they're taking shots, they're not backing off.
Okay.
Already
Wall to block vision of the op, and wall to at least give them
FRZ is slowly rotating across to get to vents.
A lot of pressure over towards A heaven, so big question mark created. It's a nice shot, to be honest. Didn't fully connect, but well, he did fully connect just on the leg.
Does get the contact onto FRZ, an early advantage. That could have been an early 4 on 4 as MWZR almost got picked off there as he got leg shotted by Artzine.
On his own? On his own? 4v5 on his own. Yeah.
Finally,
damn, these rounds that FURIA win every single time MIBR are just straight up saving.
I think it's very interesting the way FURIA is starting.
Because even though, like, how on paper, what's happening is FURIA should be wrecked, but because these rounds are going in like this and we're getting 3,000, they're actually so fine money-wise.
Working mid. It's not the raised jet jumping. They're not.
I want to shout out MW0 here. He took a lot of risks, but the risks got him over towards site.
Get kills across the map, which he did in mid round. So a little bit of a different style, but also makes you question as well if you're not going to play the double duelist default comp. Where's the change in the meta, right? Long discussion to go down that, but interesting that FURIA is finding a different way to use this to beat MIBR.
And finding a lot of value, or at least attempting to find a lot of results, good results by this early attack.
That's fine though.
We've had a lot of classic flash and dash from Conan to support NW0 up towards the ramp.
Okay, and FURIA did a good job of just being like, only this guy should be hunting. Havoc one away from his ult.
Behind towards the back of the spawn, towards screens. So the pressure actually comes in from MIBR in these locations right here. Outside B main, down towards mid, trying to break down that default that FURIA.
Money's so weird, man. Money's just everywhere.
But so far this time around, at least for round
number 6, are they using Raze as a lurker? I mean, you can with double duelist. I don't. It's kind of one of the bits that I'm not enjoying the most, to be honest. Dude, what is going on with my lights? Hey, chat.
It's like a bit of a default though, as the spike goes back and forth. And yeah, this push towards A ramp may sort MIBR back to more.
My light's just going crazy. I can see it in the background.
I love that call because that's that conditioning. We just talked about those flash and dashes. As that comes through, look at that pressure coming out from MIBR. They're focusing a lot of players now towards this A site and open B.
And thought I said what's going on with my life?
Do they dive in? A retake for double duelist is just like hitting the
it's all about the mollies on this one.
Is going to come flying through. Site is going to be furious. They get a good plant. And
I mean, the molly went out at a nice time. They just the benefit of double duelist is sending it in. This is going to be a hard retake.
An idea of how much time they have.
So by pulling out a perfect rotation, there you
they get a good plant off as well.
Diving in, perfect plan for main. Even the Seekers clearing out the
Havoc can just pop his ult. Oh. Maybe with this plant, it would have been better to delay, especially with the Astra that can have suck.
So the pressure has to come back from MIBR on the top of B heaven. MW0 gets a nice pick through the smoke, but it's answered back by RGL. He's holding his spot towards the pillar, but slowly but surely, MIBR finally made it towards the floor of that B side. Shot missed. Here comes MIBR pushing forward. JZC on the top of that balcony. It's actually being diffused at halfway. Finally,
they get half.
Comes out on the attacker. Khalil holding towards orange. There's only 2 versus 1. A shot comes in, misses again.
I think I got that pretty close, to be honest. Still a massive win from FURIA. Money is slowly getting low for MIBR, and we're starting to see the results of the save. The double save. Only win 3 rounds and we got 2 people that are on 7k.
Of MIBR having to rotate back and get into position. It was enough. Setting up a garrison inside B right after that plant did not allow the retake to happen. And that operator's down. But MIBR should have a good amount of money. Still buys coming
Did
through.
MIBR look this put
is
together
still on
last
the table
season?
here,
Nah.
that's
It's the coaching stuff for sure. You can already see the impact.
looking for.
They're just on the same page all the time.
Turret here going up towards mailroom. Not a lot of love towards mid, but now they'll make sure that no rotation can come through here. 2-1-2 on that defense.
Viper all in, and we're just going to circle everyone that can't buy next so we can kind of grasp how big this round is for them.
The good news about MIBR is that they've had some strong buys throughout these last few rounds, despite the score that we.
I mean, this is look with the info you got with an ult middle and a skydog that goes over towards here. Yeah, we can just hold this 3-person stack heavy, and you would hope that FURIA goes back and at least creates some pressure. Good bit of pressure here, getting hit by the Sky Flash. Havoc is. The problem with this is though.
Quick look at his watch.
That just makes them feel more confident with a 3-person stack. So if they actually pivoted over towards B, that would be pretty
very
cool.
Comfortable that they'll know you get at least one fight up here. For 3,
it's one of the benefits of the wall. Damn, this is a really good call.
Here comes a rotation.
Yeah, with the dog that comes in as well. This guy gonna hold strong.
So they can pace through the events and go back to try to punish on a toe of A-Heaven. It's a 1-for-1. But the commitment of FURIA is towards the A side.
Almost a double.
Finally with a shot.
Anchor in sight. RGL Meister still.
Yeah, and Jet will just send it in once this guy takes contact.
Oh
boy. Yeah, I mean this was just a cool round in general from FURIA. I actually liked it. I know it fell apart, but FRZ didn't give them anything, so shout out to him. And MIBR, even though I believe the call was like really good, MIBR played it great. Habs, how we doing, mate? Habs man with the prime. Thanks so much for the 3 months.
Definitely gonna educate FURIA to be always double checking those corners. You got to do it to him, but still gets back in a position almost to double there. And yeah,
oh my.
Calm, cool, collected, and hides quietly behind the screen. Easy 2 clap to pick it up. Operators are back out and ready. Cosmic Divide from RGL Meister and Khalil's Pit. So if they take a site, they may be able to own it. But if Khalil can actually get into an interesting position, he may be able to prevent some rotations with a pit.
Okay, another go at the attack up.
Back to mid here for FURIA. So a slightly different look again. They didn't like going back to A just yet.
Skydog over towards defense. They set up the defensive op. Yeah, and Khalil just not ready for it at all.
MIBR. Aggression on to FURIA's aggro here.
Yeah,
crazy
their
stuff.
turn to change the pace a bit.
Oh man, this poor guy in sight. Yeah, that nade was really good. FURIA have done great to turn this one around. 22 HP. This nade was so perfect from Havoc.
Took advantage of that.
Good swing as well.
Explosive mid. Just fury straight through, creating space for each other. Now Mazine.
I mean, these are some of the teams that people are rating the lowest, or like one of the lower teams in Americas. It's crazy how much good stuff they do. Like the level in this region is stupid.
That has not been seen by MIBR did leave the 1 person in heaven out to dry, right? FRZ could not get out of the situation, just plowed right through, and FURIA waterfall into B for the
America's on top,
really
yeah.
For them to break this out,
think
at
so.
a point where they could easily start to change the game. One of the last rounds of economy too.
Why do you think it's like that? It's just 2 big regions. 2 big regions
like this. So we should get another gun round.
put together into one.
So much money in this
Good tier 2 teams, so the
forth,
practice can be good.
Is just capitalizing on their post plants now. Every time they get it down, MIBR's had a really tough chance of getting back.
And then when the level's high as well, everyone has to kind of catch up to that level, so it just improves internally.
A very clouded match for this Battle of Brazil. For these two teams where, again, the comfort comes in for knowing how to play against each other, and sometimes you'll probably see like maybe the Paper X style of just hold W and fight.
We love it. We'll take that all day.
We'll take a few rounds still.
Damn. Look at this Viper.
As if does set his sights on Havoc.
The op was holding the whole time, and this guy just was not expecting the push.
A few rounds they wait, and then they'll push once again.
Does he?
Showstopper drive down A.
I love it. They're still trying to add that aggression that they have on defense, and it was a fake check. Khalil punishes him, but at least Artezine is still able to hold this middle. Rest of FURIA meeting up. And they don't have any smokes to work with, so they have to potentially try to leverage MW.
MIBR need to make sure that they don't give them a little pick here.
Down for MW.
So a double jump out just behind the defensive wall to get Decayed running through. FRZ dodging some shots behind the map, trying to bait out the rotation, trying to bait out the peek from screens. Are those players on the attacking side? I mean, there's only 2 left. MW0 and Conan. Oof, that was a haircut. But lands the second one through the smoke, allowing Conan to go for the backstab. Easy kill. Somehow it's a 2v1. Up towards the air, the updraft, it misses. They pop against each other. They swing it.
Oh my. Dude, how on earth did MW0 win that duel in heaven? He missed the guy in spawn, and I thought it was done when I saw this guy swing heaven, and then somehow he kills the guy heaven.
FRZ was not moving behind the screen, but FURIA
they should not have won this round. 3v4 up on the jet.
And it was to wait for the shots of MW0 to connect.
I want to see this one on heaven.
Missed that much, and only after one whiff on that smoke, he picked up the rest. Artisan trying to do the same.
It's a shame.
But it is not enough.
Oh,
FURIA almost. Really
he was so ready for it. Fair play.
But MW0 able to make an opening that allowed it possible for Conan to move around and get that backstab, and the rest is history. Tied up now at 5-5. We'll get our first pause of the series for MIBR.
And it makes sense. As we mentioned before, they were really good at dictating the pace against C9 on the defensive side, and it almost felt the same here. As this time, a few small mistakes when they're trying to dictate the pace on the aggression on the defense. That showstopper a couple of rounds ago that gets punished there from JZZ, knowing where the players were at, but just did a fake check. And on those moments where
where would you put MIBR in the Pacific power rankings?
A little bit slower.
With everything we've seen,
like that aggression from MIBR. FURIA is using a lot of that sky utility
4th
to
to
find
6th,
information, and they have
or like in that kind of group.
Really enter sites,
think they would. I wouldn't put them in that kind of group.
We might want to try to go back
like potentially making champs if they had a good run.
Honestly, looking at a strategy
like 4 to 6, I think, around that. Like with the kind of Gen Gs.
Just focusing at that.
Maybe I would say Gen G looks a little bit better, but
is what it's coming down to. 10 and 9 right now. Late storm up for MW0.
Around the middle. Yeah, I think so. I think in a good run they could get 4th. Flaky with the prime. Thank you for the 3 months.
See again towards mid.
It's still early days though.
By FRZ a couple rounds ago,
you gotta remember that. And it's hard to judge sometimes. It's also map based, so it's like
in a double duelist composition. Maybe
teams can look really good on maps and not good on other maps.
Almost every time now, they're gonna push up, and again, Havoc on the front.
Gamble stack you see from MIBR. 3 players starts jiggling around. See it from the radar. JZZ is the one that's jiggle peeking towards main so that he could be the first contact, and you have a swing out from RGL and Artzine. So leaving really only Mazine trying to potentially flash for info or jiggle for info. He might fall, and then you try to play for some exits and just die to spike. The gamble that they have towards the B side doesn't work out. Well, that flash actually gets that information, and there's that reaction from MIBR. Let's try to move quickly here towards B to try to go for those exits.
Yeah, a little bit of a stack here from MIBR, not paying off. Let's see, we get Seekers on this one. How many of these ults do they want to use to secure this? Maybe just like one Viper ult?
Have to be behind each other here on these trades.
For shots. So FURIA knows that MIBR is trying to close the
Maybe
gap,
nothing if they're greedy. That is not the best nade.
The 8th ramp. But that gets denied by a couple of utility on the attack. The pivot back towards A, having to try to drop down. RGL gets a nice shot onto Havoc. And W0 getting shot through the wall. Forced to reposition, and actually that's quite nice for MIBR. You're forcing out. Nice shot. Seekers, at least from FURIA.
Okay, they went for Seekers instead of Viper ult, which is okay, but they still have to get over towards the site, so maybe, honestly, I would say the Viper ult would be better, but I'm not sure. 100 fees in Apex rankings? I mean, top middle.
That might be an opportunity to tie it up.
Made FURIA work for it.
Again, it's hard when we haven't seen so much data, but the Americas teams are just...
frags to go down, but we should have the buys we need for both teams here coming into this. Yeah, that came out
it's
so
scary
quick.
levels.
Just got like a
yeah, right? The headhunter pop.
Exactly.
Like 100 thieves, maybe like 2 to 4, 2 to 5.
Okay, so they're gonna
somewhere around that.
Nading up on that balcony. Now we're gonna put a Viper fight up on the balcony when they hit the site, so nobody can peek out. A lot of times, even if the smoke goes up there, you can still get retaliation. Here as the Trailblazer goes through. Again, the wall blocks vision.
Double Duelist wants to fight, though. All right, Scene activates the dash, but they both miss. Both Duelists do not get any value on that push.
Man, this half crumbled a little bit for MIBR. This A hit has just been so strong. The mix-up as well has been strong. They kind of condition them with the op, and then they're so scared to get info, and they only have a Sky to get info, so they have to jump peek more to get the info, but then they don't want to jump peek more because there's an op. And it just kind of... It was pretty cool, to be honest. I actually kind of like this as like an overall game plan against the Sky. You get an attack op out, and then everyone's just scared to jump peek. And you do have the jump peek way more when you just have the info of just 2 flashes, 1 dog.
Yeah. Hat the stats, but definitely you've seen a nice little read and adaptation from FURIA by playing a little bit more passively against MIBR's rounds, and they're just punishing MIBR. That's gotta suck. You've waited the whole time towards A Heaven, and as you walk down, you get hit by a dog.
That's the way. Or
yeah, it doesn't matter on this one. In the end, sick recovery from FURIA.
7-5. Wow, this round summed up for me. This half is the off talks, man. When MWZera had the operator, the team was making openings that FURIA wasn't finding otherwise, and able to take MIBR apart to get those 7
I
rounds.
betrayed EMEA for Americas, bro. I haven't seen EMEA yet. If EMEA looked this good, then I'll back them as well.
To see what they have to say for the first half.
Like as a whole, if they're looking this good, like the bottom of the pack, then respect. Then I'll call it as I see it.
But things did not start off too hot there for FURIA. In fact, MIBR showing that they are.
I don't care about regions, chat. I watched them all.
Yeah, they were showing some good stuff, but for me, what really stuck out about this half is the limitations of this solo Sky.
Super agree.
So many rounds, Mazin is dogging out into main towards B, trying to get information there, flashing out, and when they're playing these retakes, which you often have to give when you're playing against a double duelist, double dive comp, they had such limited utility and just could not get back
Except China. That's not my fault though. That's more the scheduling fault. I'll be watching a good. I'd say I watch about 50% of the China games. Just the fact that they're on the same time as Pacific, so I have to pick one.
Yes, they're holding an operator, but you also can wait for the rest of your team. And then again, these dogs getting baited so early. I mean, 1:30 in the round, this dog is already broken. That's already such a limit on information.
How's the game go?
It felt like for a little
honestly,
bit,
really good.
MIBR had a solid understanding of their early round protocols, but then the mid to late round, the retakes were just not there.
And honestly,
doing great. I see the sarcasm. I can feel the sarcasm through the screen.
On one side, you're going to bait out those flashes. Late round, you hit a site with double dive, which, especially when your opponent is opping and flashed off the line, it's really hard to hold on to and win out these post plants. The thing is, though, this goes both ways. We also have a solo Sky.
Well, I was going to ask because, you know, tables turn, right? Because now it's going to be FURIA's problem to solve here. And how do they do that? How do they figure it out?
Conan has to be so careful about when he's using his utility and communicating with his team when he's flashing, what space they can take off of that, and needs to make sure he is being conservative in his use so they don't get ran over in these retakes as well.
For viewers at home, pay attention to how that Sky can impact this one, especially in the retakes. We'll see how it pans out and send it back over to Vansili and Riddington.
Pukak, shut up, man.
Thank you, GB, Mimi, and Athena. Yeah, indeed. I mean, that's a terrible stat for MIBR. 1 of 8 out of retakes, and I think they bring up a great point. The Sky. Maybe that's why you see that pressure out for MIBR on the defense. We'll see if FURIA is going to try to do the same thing.
Okay, the jump spot runaway bait. I like this.
On these retakes.
Quick peek. Liazzi back with the star.
Does it work? Do they check? He dash checked, right? This guy's on radar. Lovely, nicely done from Artsin. Not falling for that one.
But all the util comes out. I mean, you haven't baited it out at the beginning, and then you're just meaning it all as you try to funnel through.
This was a cool idea from FURIA. I liked it. Everyone was close. Everyone was here. It kind of looked like they expected the B hit, to be honest, with their setup. But
don't worry, I'm almost there. Oh my, they went down quick. But yeah, you're right. The insta hit, but prepared. FURIA was prepared.
Yeah,
for the
FURIA
hit from MIBR.
Very on top of this.
Expecting this double duelist to explode immediately, and FURIA now take a pistol round of their own. So we've traded 1-to-1 now on those. FURIA was able to come up with the rounds last half. So
I mean, look at this positioning as well, right? Even if MW0 got picked off there by ArtZine, the idea was there. We
What do you reckon? If there's no initial smoke,
style of MIBR going towards
are they less likely to check top left?
Being placed behind where that distance would be if you actually double dash through towards the pillar, so they were able to minimize the space here that MIBR could take.
Okay, chance for FURIA to... Wait, we get where's the judge at?
I got a question mark on the mini map.
Flash goes in over towards A heaven, doesn't hit anyone. They see someone jump spot middle, and we are just 3-person dueling over towards B, potentially to take the ore.
FRZ does on this right side of the map, though.
Yeah,
he starts lurking up.
He's just lurking while we're trying to get some pot shots from MW0, who did get a bit of contact. Havoc, the one trying to find information, got him. As that single initiators posted at the A site for the defensive side. And does get the contact, as you mentioned, onto FRZ on that lurk.
Giving it up. You see how safely Conan is playing. They say, fine, we'll let him take heaven. We'll play the retake here. Don't want to catch a shorty or something crazy in the face on the low buy of MIBR.
Oh. And...
Yeah.
Oh!
There you go. Delivered.
Okay, there's been a bit of an info hero play though. So as the Skyflash hit the person in the middle and then they actually get the shot over towards B, holy, Conan does a dog over towards A and actually spots them. So they're like pure fake. Oh my goodness, what the hell is this Joel? He got 3 with a classic.
3 in the round, single-handedly opens the A site. And yeah, I think we're seeing a lot of errors here and there throughout this matchup. It gets chaotic.
Well, whether or not stock's going up on the glitch pop pistol.
For sure.
That's crazy.
For sure. Planted out for heaven. Havoc, last player standing, and realizes that there's nobody trying to get the last pick, understanding that they are on this eco for MIBR. You have to play those protocols that they were good with in that matchup yesterday. That's some damage done, but you definitely hear that.
Yeah, but it also kind of doesn't really matter. They didn't have the guns in hands, even though there are guns here. It's the Vandal, the top there. Nice. Wait. They're not a... Oh, it's the... It was the judge skin of that. I thought the judge skin of the dragon was the Vandal.
3 on it, and then a headshot as well to take the armor off of Havoc.
Dude, how?
Amount of damage being done with a classic in 1 round. Whew. Yeah. The pistols are on fire today for both sides, it seems.
I mean, everyone else did a lot of damage to them. This duel was so stupid.
In situations. As RGL comes up with the last one. Nicely done. They flipped the script on how the economy's working here. A Marshall there still for Liazzi on defense, though, so they may be able to get a little bit of armor chip. FURIA feels good about this round. Looks like it might be a B hit on the end with just that lurk from FRZ still.
Oh, the timing on that was...
You got Marshall for pop shots.
I'm not sure it's intentional because it wasn't his smoke, but... Lovely swing. The widest of swings. Lovely shot in return. Can the Astra get in?
Conan running outside the smoke with another one. Marshall trying to do some damage. Liazzi trying to dance around. Support from hell denied both of them by MIBR.
I mean, over towards A, he got the headshot. He managed to pick up a gun here. We got 36 HP. I mean, it's not ult-worthy. And honestly, Mazin has secured that they won the round. But let's see what the damage is.
Havoc definitely seeming more comfortable in his play.
Don't want to see an ult here.
See if he can get this last one. Oh, is he just
yes, but this is not winnable.
To see how many angles he has to check.
The game sense. He knows where all 3 players are at pretty much. But Mazin goes for the drive-by. There was an opportunity there. If he actually got that pick up to Mazin, he knows that the showstopper is going to get RGL towards that back. And
shout out to the B players there, because it was getting a little bit ropey.
Huge. As soon as Havoc got that frag, you wonder, now they know the lurk is gone. The whole team can just focus in onto what's happening at B. However, FURIA realized they needed to act fast as well with Havoc coming around. Or, I'm sorry, not Havoc, JZZ coming around, so. Very interesting stuff. Both teams reacting well and adapting to the speed they're putting up for each other. Maybe towards A. Double duelist hit first time for MIBR here. But it's just going to be towards ramp. Gaining control.
satchels instead of a dash.
Man, he caused so much pressure on his own over towards A. I love this little strat. I think the strat's good. We've seen a couple of teams run this. It kind of works well with the Viper over towards Heaven just because of the wall. But the deep wall blocking vision over towards here, the Boombot that goes deep in towards vents, and the nade that kind of goes close, just creates so much pressure, but even getting hit by the flash that they can just enter over towards the site. Who goes big for MIBR here for them to win?
Otherwise, it's as soon as they get down ramp.
There's a lot of pressure on FRZ.
I'm pretty sure that was one being thrown towards the main, slowing the pace as if they heard a flash. There's that peek towards the spawn, a double peek to see the Opper. Mazine get into 2 shots with the wall bang out towards screens.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, and no one else needs to do anything now. They play these situations very well. MW0 had a chance to win this.
On that eco ties up the game.
For sure.
Wow.
Lexi, thank you so much for the gifted.
One of their main goals, I think,
welcome
win
in.
conditions is to figure
Thank you for
out
doing that,
how
Lexi.
to
Appreciate you.
shut down MW0, right? You have a guy who's basically glass cannoning whenever they can and is a reason that these rounds get completely shut down. So the faster they get into sight, the faster they set up, the less work MW0 can actually do. Because that's exactly what an op wants to be able to hold the forward angles. It shuts down fast pressure play. Somebody comes flying around the corner, one shot. That's not what MIBR is allowing on their hits, though. Good smokes, good control, and FURIA is going to be calling a timeout here to see how they can right this.
Timeout.
Get it back in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, they have
Swifty,
that
never.
Just before we saw this
never.
Available for Havoc. Do they want to try to do some sort of trap play here? If you could funnel, if you could put MW0 in a good spot, and actually he lands some shots and adds that pressure onto MIBR, there's an opportunity to actually have them funnel within.
Maybe not today.
Ultimate that could
thank you with the gifted.
A huge swing round here for FURIA on a defense. But it could also be just a regular timeout to discuss in the next round what the protocols that MIBR has been doing here. On
thank you so much. Maybe appreciate the gifted. Thank you.
And we know these two teams are pretty evenly
we love
matched.
that you're saying thank you.
You know, it's a kind of plant the bomb equals win game. Looking at the score, it's even. First kills, first deaths are even. 5v4s or 4v5s and pistols, all even.
Stencils for 100 fees. Who's stronger? I don't know. We haven't seen enough data. Flip a coin, I think.
Like I said, and the score line.
Feels like a coin flip.
The only thing that's different here basically is the buys. The economy is switching up a little bit. Let's see what they can do as we now get into round 17. This is just the first of this series. Neither team wants to go home on this one.
And look at this. So they
Sen, surely? I think I am still going with Sen, but I'm not. It's not like I'm more confident than a 50-50, really.
Final call with the showstopper. So this is an important shot to land right here. Gets blinded by a flash. All that plan's gone.
Scrambling just to get some positioning. Look how fast the
keep an eye
There's going to be alert for FRZ.
on the I was going to say keep an eye on the luck here. And as long as no one oversteps from MIBR, they're kind of fine here. Oh, well, there it is. Oh my goodness, they ate this flash. 3 of them. Okay, luck can finally come in, but tell you what, Liazzi wins that duel. That might have been around. These swings. Everyone's doing the widest pop-ins.
If they want to, and it starts off with the jump spot on the attack, spotting one, the double drop, the wall banger to Mazine. RC that at least is able to save that. Up versus up, RGL from the pillar.
This turned out to be a pretty close round in the end. FURIA should be very happy with how much damage they did. Okay, now they get their big buy rounds, and they gotta do something. It's a money diff.
Ready to pile through there, and they caught Mazine's guiding light in the face. That is one of the oh no moments. They finally spread out, get into a situation, but MIBR acted so incredibly fast on this round. Understanding FURIA would try and sprint back into the site. Straight W. 4 rounds in a row now for MIBR as they are going quick. It's a plant the bomb, win the round type of game. Who can
Insta dog goes out, but they hear the op, which has now been dropped over towards Zin.
Operator was with him last round. Now it's back to Mazine. And no operator now for
what a weird round, because it's like, why would the Sky have the op, and then you hear the op and then you see a flash, so you probably think 2 people are here.
comfort to go for the double dive. And when you have a Sky in the back trying to run all that util first, you get a plant for example, B main where they're inching towards. He could actually play the op on the post plant.
3 stars? The most selfish Astra. That means there's no stars for middle, so we can just kind of stroll up here.
Trying to have FURIA make the first mistake.
Get out of my way!
There's the blades. So I think that means they're looking to dive mid here. Ooh, MW0 at least stops JZZ.
It's going to foil the first step of the attempt of map control towards heaven. A dash across the smoke, trying to catch one behind the staircase. Ardzine sees nobody there. Now Cloudburst sees 2. Couldn't get the contact onto Liadzi. 8 HP remaining. Snake by now to still cover the staircase. Up towards the B heaven.
Oh,
nice shot.
maybe.
Things up towards B main though. RGL in
8 HP.
Liadzi still at the 8 HP. Being a pivotal point as an anchor.
Oh man. Viper as well. Spike over towards B main though. And oh, it's weird. 1v1. There's like 2 1v1s, but they also had this guy that's going over towards B main. So MW0 might have thinks he's owned it, but they actually know about him. Good ult.
Pinch towards the back of the spawn. Mazin's moving forward. Conan senses it.
Okay, and they 100% know this guy's B main.
Out to MW0. Blade Storm still available, not popped yet. Has a Vandal in hand. Both the players of FRZ and Mazin holding together, trying to keep this pit up, keep the pit alive. There's that tap. Trying to find a timing to walk forward. And it's Mazin to try to bid it out first, just to keep the pit up. There's that first kill.
I mean, honestly, that was nearly a really good try from him.
Wow.
I mean, obviously it was a nice try, but Zinni nearly won it.
On that round, it almost looked like it got way too chaotic and overcooked. We had JZZ go down, and then Ardzine was just, I'm in. I'm going, oh, I'm by myself. Let me try to fight everybody.
We have a timeout here.
Wait, team's still in mid. But no, they recoup. They understand what needs to be done mid-round and are able to find those frags. Bringing it down to 1 again, MW0 trying to clutch it. FRZ gets that frag. And FRZ, to point out, we had the lurk last round, helped put the nail in the coffin on the retake coming in from FURIA, and a lot of other rounds that he's doing great lurking, being able to get the audio comms in the transition of when FURIA is moving, and it is helping MIBR stay on top of these plays.
Is that Psycho? But a timeout, the last one being called out by FURIA. And again, I mean, it's an important one here. They don't have too much money to work with coming out of this timeout, but everything that they were trying to do on that previous round, they actually had the perfect numbers.
MW main duelist? I mean, he's a talent, bro.
Separate that attempt of a push that you had from MIBR on that split towards that B main.
Okay.
Monkey Meatloaf again with another gifted. What an after this one? HDFKAIGVKFF. Bro, I can't do all of that, but thanks so much, Monkey.
Retakes for them.
Pick the longest one possible.
How fast FURIA is getting in the site. We still have a few members lurking about that would make some good plays to stop MIBR from getting back in, but man, MIBR is almost happy to let FURIA plant right now. They're not worried about the extra money because
anything
seems like they have
mad
such a read on
from
right
actual madness.
Over.
Actual madness. The eco, we pop the Viper ult, and then we just hope that, man. Honestly, am I where do I sit with this?
They went for a pit towards middle for FURIA and a 4-player stack.
It means more likely they're going to go into the stack.
But they just want to leave that B side open, somehow trusting that the retake
it is an investment. I'm normally pretty fine with ults on ecos.
You only have a flash left, and then potentially.
No way! Look at this. I think the dog just went over towards A. They got info, and then now.
They're cruising.
Man, look at the calls. I'm trying to work out where everyone's going. They don't even know yet.
Looking to follow up on each other's
It's like watching ants go everywhere. Look at them. It's cracking me up.
From running around. They are keeping a little buddy system. Trying to predict a B hit. They float back towards A, and it looks like they are going to read this slightly correct. Whether or not they can
okay, they're all here. Oh boy.
Be there for a few trades.
Ah, it's a shame. You got any flash for this? One flash. Oh man, savior, JZZ.
With that though, they didn't try to go for
what the?
Yeah. They just tried to go for those heroic plays.
How man, this game is.
The best you could do here with the buy that you have. Round should be coming in here for MIBR unless a miracle happens on the side of FURIA. Both players split off here. One towards screens, the other one towards the ramp. Liazzi was able to get one. But FRZ,
okay, nicely done from FRZ and JZZ for sure, getting the most important kills. FURIA, I think I'm alright with it, honestly.
And putting himself in the middle of the site there, able to hit each.
They at least got the Astral out of them as well.
3K for FRZ.
But it's still a big round. Nice and Viper all committed.
Incredible consistency coming in from this team, and it doesn't even look like FURIA has a read on how this is happening. FURIA, it looks like they're playing to the retakes MIBR wants.
Oh, Blacky, thank you so much with the Prime. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Welcome in.
Just taking FURIA down. All right, 11 to 8.
Oh, he's next to him. No, man, they're big buy round after the pause, and this is what happens. Bad smoke, though. Keep an eye on the luck. Do they have any idea? I mean, yeah, they started thinking, but they just thought with how he's been lurking that he's going to be so far back, and then he changes up the pace of his lurking.
Too good here for MIBR. 1 versus 3. Backs against the wall. Conan, the IGL having to decide at this point. Do I want to use my Seekers or not on his 3v1? Sees one. Here's the plan.
Oh my god, this attack half flow.
Absolutely clinical for 7 rounds.
4 chances. Look at this, though.
Wild from MIBR, and it is worth going back and really watching this attack side from them and just how they are dismantling FURIA on these attacks. Jeez.
Yeah, Jaws. Every time I was looking at the name and I was like, wait, what is this? I had no idea about any of them. It was fun to record them.
Definitely seeing a bit of a change in effectiveness for MIBR's solo initiator retake than what FURIA.
Okay, 4 chances. The oh man, I love that pathing that they do here. Early sky flash and then the pathing up towards the top with the dash. He just takes so many crazy angles that you don't expect. Dodge towards heaven and the sky duck to clear vents. That is some early mid pressure.
Sometimes it's slow, this time it's
and
the past 2 rounds. Have it close range with the judge. But both duelists are there.
Every time I want to talk, there's a duel going on. Keep over towards B main.
Push forward for MWZero. The off shot missed.
Man,
FURIA has
a lot going on. There's a lot going on in this. Like the strat though.
Will they be able to connect with another?
First 10 seconds, they've already gone heavy mid, bypassed the Viper orb. Just out and done. This is nice from FURIA as well to push all the way behind.
It actually looks like they're just trying to play anchor on the sites, and FURIA is ready to.
Yeah, it looks like it, Imi.
It
looks like it. Strong map from them.
There.
Now they pretty much know where the hit's going to be coming from.
Yep.
Or towards
it's such a bait Astro. It's going to work well.
MIBR
30 seconds left.
So the 2 players on air watching towards.
They're going to hyper focus on this ult so heavy.
All the way out, or just waiting for the
yeah, look at him. That was nice. Bit of stroke of genius with the ult, to be honest. I liked it.
Finally get around in this half. It took a while.
A 3K in a 3K.
It looked like they checked him, but I think it was like a half clear.
And that was one of the slower rounds, and it gave a chance for FURIA to kind of just, like you said, take a bit of a breath and understand what may be happening in it. Too little, too late. Still the question you have to ask. 12 to 9 here within reach, though. 3 rounds, still a bit of money to work with.
Seekers on the defense. I tell you what, MIBR don't have an ult for a while.
Still very much around it.
So
FURIA can defend on.
This has some legs. Flash heaven, double satchel, water block. They're taking map control fast and they're changing it up the whole time into the site hit. Okay, Havoc has to kill this guy. Oh, it might be done.
3rd round in a row, this time towards the A site. It is B to mid to A.
Where do they go fast? To site or A ramp?
It will be successful, but FURIA is all
got a double hold ramp.
A dog to clear down the ramp. A crossfire set up from GZZ and FRZ. Snake bite does not connect. So they can stay deep now until these smokes come out. Recalls, the peek out. Conan gets the pick onto GZZ. A battle on the other side of the map towards screens. A 3v3 as a heal comes up from Conan. Still no utility left now for the retake of FURIA. And the crossfire is there for MIBR towards the back of the site. Clock is still ticking down. Pressure is coming
too much time gone, right?
This Once again, it's still map point for MIBR. Artesian staying within all these smokes to tap on the first spike, and that's pretty much it.
Nicely done from MIBR. What an attack off from them.
Now the clock is down. The spike goes
What an
out,
attack off.
and
They got some cool strats. Got some cool strats, and they did really good to just mix everything up.
It spells a very, very apparent story of how they play with FRZ on Viper.